Hey guys, I'm back here again. I got another quick video here for you. We got a Toro wheel horse in over here. This probably about 2 weeks ago. We've been waiting on parts for it because unfortunately Briggs and Stratton screwed up the order on there for that. And this is a Toro wheel horse, 1638 with the superficial designation 1638 XL. This one has a 38-inch recycler deck on this one specifically for that. There's your deck information right down there. Recycler 38-inch deck. It also has a quick attachment right there for that to clean out that deck with a water hose hookup right there for that as well too. And we'll give you a shot of the tag from the information in the back. Your tag for the information of these machines is directly in the back underneath the seat behind the battery compartment. So there's your battery compartment right there. And there's your information tag about the model number and serial number. So we'll go ahead and zoom in on that here. There you go right there. 71223. Serial number starting with 23. That's your information tag and your battery. So if you're looking for the information tag for your machine, just flip up the seat and it should be right behind the battery compartment right there, guys. So what we had to do on this job here, we'll give you a shot of the hood on here and stuff like that. The customer was originally complaining that the machine was hard starting, it wouldn't turn over too good, and they were complaining about the engine was spinning over partially and like stopping basically. And typically that can be possibly one of two things right there. Typically if you have an overhead valve Briggs engine with this has on it right now, you can have a problem with the valves and possibly your compression release down inside the engine as well too. But unfortunately he didn't have those two problems. He had a carb. The carb needed to be replaced for that, so we took a look at the carb, and what was going on was the carb was actually flooding itself, and it was letting so much gasoline go past the seat on there. It was basically flooding itself, and whenever we were checking out the oil dipstick on it, the oil dipstick, it just stunk of gasoline. This whole dipstick, your oil level should be right. Let me see. Let me get a better angle here. Sorry, this thing's flipping around on me. Okay, we'll put it over here. Your oil level on the dipstick, this thing doesn't want to stay still. Sorry about that. Okay, there we go. Try to get this in a better angle here for you guys. Okay, you have the two marks right here. You have the add mark and you have the full mark. There's only about probably about a ½ inch gap right there for that between the add and the full. So right there, let me see. I'm going to zoom in here a little bit better for you. Sorry about that picture, not want to focus. You have the add line, you have the full line. You want to keep it between those areas right there. You have a little crosshatch section right there. You want to keep it between the add and the full line. This guy's oil level, it was all the way up here. It says caution, do not overfill. His oil level was like basically right up here. That's how far the oil capacity of this machine was. And the oil stunk of gasoline in there. So he had a serious problem with the oil being dumped, or I mean the fuel being dumped into the oil under for that because the carb was leaking. So what we had to do is we had to take the tank off. Take the tanks up in their front. Took the tank off, took the fuel line off, cleaned it all out, installed a new genuine OEM carb on this machine. One thing I do recommend, guys, don't go cheap and go on Amazon or eBay and buy the $10 knockoff Chinese equivalent clone carb, because more than likely the carb will not function correctly and there's a high likelihood it may leak on you in the near future. So always be smart and take my advice and get a genuine OEM carb for your machine, because I always recommend like new ignition modules, new carbs, new like cylinder blocks. Like the big expensive stuff on a machine, the engine out there, you need to buy the original OEM stuff because it's designed specifically for it's designed for the manufacturer to use on your machine right there. You don't want to go cheap and buy a $10 Amazon ignition coil and have the thing not even work on you, or a $10 carb from eBay that's being shipped from China over there, and it takes 2 or 3 months to get to you. And the problem is it don't even work when you try to put it on the machine, because I had Chinese carbs in the past where I went online and I bought, I think about 2 or 3 of them from an eBay vendor was out in California, and he had one Chinese carburetor for a Toro snowblower. I bought a one Chinese carb for a Briggs and Stratton and one Chinese carb for a chainsaw. I just do like a test of them, and each one of them was totally junk. They were like leaking on the intake pipe right here. The other one was flooding, and I think the third one just simply would not even idle correctly out there for that. So always, take somebody's advice. You just get the OEM stuff on your machine. Don't go cheap. If you want to go cheap, you can probably go cheap on like your air filters and stuff like that, and maybe some of your drive belts and cables and stuff. But on your bigger ticket items like your carb, your ignition coil, your whole cylinder assembly and stuff like that, you got to buy OEM parts, unfortunately, because they're designed specifically for your machine, and you don't want to cheap out on them. So what we had to do, as before, we had to replace the carb. We also had to replace the oil filter. As you see right here, we have a brand new Briggs and Stratton white decal high capacity oil filter on here as well too. This one is the part number 492932S on this one right here for that. And we also put another preventive maintenance feature on here. He didn't have any fuel filter on this thing at all. There was no fuel filter on here. I don't know, somebody might have been working on it before us, but there was zero fuel filter on the machine. So we put a inline fuel filter, Briggs and Stratton fuel filter, and we also stuck a Briggs shutoff valve before that. So you always want to put the shutoff valve before the fuel filter on there specifically for that, guys. So this one works perfectly fine. Fuel shutoff valve, nice and smooth. And after you get done running your machine, just put it in the off position out there. It'll basically take pressure off of your needle and seat down inside your carb right there for that. So I personally would recommend doing this. Turn it to the off position about 10-15 seconds before you shut the engine off, so it'll take some fuel out of the fuel line right here and decrease the chances of the carb failing due to a needle and seat problem right there, because your needle and seat wear, guys, down inside there, and taking pressure off those two pieces right there will decrease the chances of having a carb fail due to that one specific problem right there for that. So new carb, new fuel line, clean the tank out on here, new shutoff valve, new fuel filter, oil change. We had to change the oil out a couple times on here. The oil was, like I said before, super overfilled, and we always recommend changing the oil filter as well too anytime you're doing that kind of repair on here, because the oil filter is going to be holding oil up inside here, and you don't want any of that old fuel just basically dumped back into the engine after you get done changing the oil without changing the filter. So always change the oil filter anytime you have a problem like this one right here, because you don't want to have any of that fuel just like floating around inside your engine down there for that, guy. So we'll give you a shot of the carb right here as well too. There's the genuine OEM carb. Let me zoom out here. Doesn't want to focus too good. Sorry about that. There we go. That looks a little bit better. Genuine OEM Briggs carb. You get the Briggs logo up on one side. You also have a electro stencil to numbers right here for, I guess, for the part number, or some kind of a serial number from the factory right there for that. So that's a genuine carb. Can't get any better than that. Genuine filter for the oil, genuine fuel filter, and shutoff valve from Briggs. You have to do that in order to have the machine running correctly out there for that, plus provide a warranty for any kind of job that's being done by you, so the customer is not going to come back to you and say, you guys put knockoff parts on my machine. So here's a top-down shot of the engine here. Got the good old 16 horsepower rotated valve. That's their Briggs, that's their Toro branded tag they put on the front here. So we'll give you a shot of that here right there for that. There you go. Toro 16 horsepower overhead valve, Power Plus, cast iron sleeve, 2-year warranty, pressure lubrication with spin-on oil filter, and designed to Toro specifications by Briggs and Stratton. So you have all the good old stuff right there. Plus we'll give you a shot of the identification tag on the valve cover, so you can get a better shot here for you. This thing's gonna wait right here a little bit, so I apologize for that. So let me see if I can get a better shot here for you. Let me take it down at an angle. There you go, right there you go, right there. There's your identification tag on the valve cover. It's an 03 model number, or 03 model year, I should say. Sorry about that. Okay, we'll get a side shot over here. You also have your other information tag on this one right here as well too. This guy didn't remove it on here. You have your barcode scanner on some of these machines. Some of them don't come with them, others ones do. This guy did not remove his, so you have a barcode scanner right there for that. has the information for the machine's model number and serial number, and also the manufacturer code on there as well too. So you can get a better shot here. There you go, briggsstratton.com. There's your barcode. That'll be on the right hand side of the engine if you're sitting on the seat. One other thing we had to do on here was the guys, he really stripped out the actual drain plug nut on here. And what happened was, or I should say the actual drain plug itself on here, and we put a brand new Briggs Stratton plug, quick oil change plug on here. These are about, I think about 10, 12 bucks on eBay right there for that. They're a good, I want to call it basically a good buy for this machine, because unfortunately the guy's plug, he had a square plug on there, and it looked like they just really beat the crap out of it on there for that. And we installed a new plug right here for that. So it's you can put anti-seize like thread or anti-seize I'm gonna call it, it's a white Teflon tape. We put a little bit of that stuff on there for that as well too, so it has a nice snug feel on there for that. So that's the last thing we did on there for that as well too. So we'll go ahead and fire it up here for you. Give you another side shot of the machine right here. There you go. Good old Toro wheel horse, 1638. I'll put the hood down on here as well too. These things have a unique hood latch system on here as well. I should have mentioned it before. You have this plastic piece right in front of the fuel tank on here. This thing sticks up like a little pronged holder right here. And on the other side you have the shroud covering thing, and this thing has a little tit sticking out right here for that. And that's how it goes down together. So it's like so, and that had to be latched in there, pretty cool. And you have this logo on the front right here. It says cool air induction on here as well too, to suck in. I guess they want to have like some kind of a fake ram air intake or something on these things out there for that, but that's what it is, and that's what it is. So there's the front logo. You got the wheel horse right there, logo. Let me show you that right there. Let me zoom in. Wheel horse logo. Okay, I'll go ahead and fire it up here, guys. Enough of the BS, and you're probably getting sick and tired of hearing me talk about the machine. Okay, we'll fire it up here. Should fire up in one pull here. There we go. There's the brake on there. Make sure I got the fuel thing on. Okay, let me show you that. Okay, fuel thing's on. Turn that down. Okay. Got a nice good idle on here too. Nice and smooth. Go ahead and gun it up here a little bit for you. The max speed, top speed. See your car blinkers down there. We did have to adjust the car blanket so it would be a better higher speed on it, because somebody was messing with the linkage on it before, so we had to move that back just a little bit on her for that, probably about 3/8 of an inch. Go ahead and gun it up here again. Max speed. There you go. And there's low speed again. Let me turn on the headlights over here. Headlights should work, because he didn't complain about the headlights. If they don't work, it's no big loss or nothing like that. Yeah, the headlights are working. Yeah, it look good, no problem with that. So headlights work, good to go for that as well too. I'm gonna go ahead and engage the blades on here and see how they work as well. Your blade engagement is right down here. You have disengage, PTO, and engage. So we'll go ahead and pull it up here. That blade's function good, no problem. That sounds okay. We'll go ahead and gun the engine up here as well. There's max power. Now running good. Here's the other control switch over here for your ignition. Here's your lights right there. On and off, 1 and 0. So the machine runs great. We'll go ahead and put it in gear right here and drive it around. I'm just going to drive around the yard, or I mean just the driveway right here for a few minutes because I got a guy coming over here pretty shortly. Okay, good to go. Driving nice and smooth, no weird sounds, no banging or clanging coming from the engine or the transmission itself. Good. Let's check the brakes out here. That brake's got a nice, good, positive feel. Let's try the reverse. This one has 5 forward gears. So you have neutral, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you have 1 reverse on here as well too for that. So we'll try the reverse. Okay, there's reverse. Let me put the engine on slow speed. Okay, good to go. And we'll try the reverse. And the reverse works good. Nice and positive feel. Good to go. Put it in first again here, drive it around a little bit more. Give it a little bit of gas. Driving okay. It's always a good idea to verify every system on the machine works okay, because you don't want to give the machine back to the customer and they call you up a couple days later wanting to know why the machine is not driving, or there's something wrong with the deck or something else that you didn't check on the machine thoroughly. So always do a test run of the machine, drive it around your yard or up a hill or something like that to verify the machine is functional for you, so it's functional for the customer as well too. Go ahead and put it in park. The park is down here. Here's your park brake lever thing right here. What you want to do is you want to push it up and it'll keep the park in locked. This little rod gets locked when you push it up. So you push it out and it pops right out. You want to push it up and it'll lock the front, your front pedal forwards under for that. So that's the machine, good to go. We'll go ahead and gun it up here again for you guys. Put the headlights on. Headlights look good. No problem. Give it a side shot over here. We'll do a walk around. Other side. There's the front. So it's good to go. Go ahead and shut it off here. Turn the headlights off. Okay, so that's been the review for your good old Toro wheel horse lawn and garden tractor. It's primarily a lawn tractor, right? It's not really meant for garden usage out there, because your garden tractors typically have like a bigger frame or bigger engine on them as well too for that. So anybody has any comments, questions, whatnot, feel free to drop me a message here and I'll try to get back to you within 24 or 48 hours with some kind of a basic answer to your question regarding this type of machine, guys. I'll see you. Have a nice day.